States of the Strong, a Bull Brand podcast. I am so excited for today because we have got something that is so different from all our other episodes, but like we had to have it. We had to have this person on the show. See, who is our guest for today?
Our guest today is a social media superstar second. But first of all, they are a magician. They do the magics. And I have seen this guy's content everywhere. You can't go on any social media platform and not see this magician.
Let me tell you how big, okay? We are talking over 16 million followers on TikTok. 16 million. Sorry, not 1,000, million.
Yes.
Over 1 million followers on Instagram. Over 1 million subscribers on YouTube. A total combined of more than 1 billion views for one person. Do you know that
it's a lot of
I
people.
don't even know how to explain
it's
this.
It's a
but
lot
a lot
of
the world's population has seen his content.
Yeah.
I've seen his content and I'm so excited.
Yeah.
We have got
the wonderful.
Please tell them.
The wonderful Wian Magic is in the studio today. How are you doing, my brother?
Oh, please, guys, please, please don't stop. Don't stop. No, I'm good. It's great to be here. Thank you guys so much for having me. Super excited. Thank you so much for all that, build up.
We got you. His head is going to be too big today. That's going to be his next magic trick, how to make his head smaller again.
I'm so glad that we have this opportunity to talk to you and sort of like unpack everything because we see the content, but it's like how, why, when, where, all of that. But before we get into it, we've got a game called 60 Seconds of Strong. Okay?
Right.
So I'm going to pass you, I just opened the jar like a pro.
Look at you.
I'm going to pass you pieces of paper that have like a sentence that prompts you to basically finish it or whatever comes to mind first, and you just tell us whatever it is.
Okay.
Very fast, very quick.
Yeah.
It's
like just a sentence.
Pick it up, answer. Pick it up, answer.
You want me to give a sentence? Is it a question?
It's
or?
like
it's
it can be one word answer, it can be a sentence.
Whatever it is.
But you have a minute.
When you see it, you'll get it. Are you ready?
Let's go.
Have
Ready?
we got the timer?
Yeah.
Okay.
3,
Cool.
2, 1, go.
What I can't pronounce. I think throttle, like when your internet gets throttled, I can't say that. All right. The youth of SA are, I think, talented, very, very talented. I believe the South African government is doing well. The reality show I would be on is, I think America's Got Talent. That's the only one that'll probably work. If I won the lotto today, I would see the world and give a lot of the money to my parents. If I were an animal, I would be probably a monkey, because that's the closest to a human being, I think.
Fair enough.
Could still use my hands. South Africa is my favorite country. My biggest strength is, well, not my muscles. I'd say, just, that's a hard one. I don't know. I'd say just my passion, what I love to do. If I had a superpower, it would be, I would say, time traveling. I don't know. If I were president for a day, I'd change a lot. But that, okay.
Time.
All right,
Cool.
cool.
You can't read that one. It's hectic, eh?
Yeah, it's hard when you know you're limited on time, huh?
Top of your head. Let's see how many of you. I trust.
Count.
All right, cool.
I trust.
Okay, he's counting.
it's counting.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 15, guys. 15.
That's South African maths, that one. Yeah, 9, 10, 15. Listen, Wian, we're here today to find out the man behind the magic. But before that, would you mind doing a trick for us? I really wouldn't mind.
Let's do it.
Would that be cool?
Yeah, no,
Nice.
please. Let's do it, guys. Let's do it.
Okay.
I can stand up and move over there, right?
Okay.
If we want to do
is
a
that
quick
fine?
trick.
Is that
If we can do that. No.
Can
All right.
you
We'll do
go
it like
sitting?
this. Well,
Okay.
We'll just stay here. We'll
Sure.
stay seated here. Cool. So I've got this little thing in my wallet, which I carry around. It's like one of those old photos, but it hasn't been developed yet.
Okay.
Have you guys seen these, like those Polaroid
Sure. Yeah. Very
old
expensive.
films?
Gotcha.
Yeah, because they instantly printed photos. That was before your phone.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to do any of you have your phone on you? If I could
Yes.
go into the camera, if you don't mind.
Sure. Oh, you're okay.
I can give him.
All right, awesome.
There we go.
And I'm just going to take that. Oh, it's an iPhone. That's nice. what we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys the photo there.
There's nothing on
Would
it.
Would you hold it right here? I just want to get a picture of it and you holding it. So we'll just do that. Hang on. I just want to see. We got to get that flash on. There we go.
Okay.
So we're just going to get a picture. Brilliant.
I'm so scared.
I'll just take another one just so it's a nice and clear. Let's there we go. Yeah, that one's quite nice. All right, so we got a couple, but it's okay. Cool. So we're just gonna put the phone there.
Okay.
You guys can see it's still just a regular photo.
Yeah.
If you had one, I would use that.
Okay.
Now, you guys probably use the notes on your phone, right?
Sure.
You've got an iPhone.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I can't remember anything, so I just write everything down. Now, on my phone, in my notes, I've put 100 different things. So I've gone into a note. I put one, and I've made it places around the world. So I would have like 1 New York, 2 Dubai. Can't remember the order, but yeah. So right now, I want you to name a number between 1 and 100. Any number, and whichever number you use, that's what we'll use.
Out loud.
Yeah, go ahead. You can show it as well if you don't trust me, but
I trust you.
21.
21. All right. So I'm going to show you guys. I'm just going to go into the notes right there.
Cool.
And we're going to click on cities. You guys see all my notes? That's the cities. 1 is New York, 2 is Berlin, so I was wrong, okay?
21.
Can't remember. So 21, do you see which one that is?
What is 21?
That I?
Paris.
Ooh,
21 is
okay.
Paris.
And you guys can see, I'll show the camera, all of them are different. We've got New York, Berlin, Cape Town, Giza, all of them are different all the way through, right? Stockholm, Prague, it's not like Paris everywhere, right?
You.
Now, this is just a photo. Now, wouldn't it be cool if this developed in the photo itself?
Yes.
Would you go in there? We took a couple, so you can have a look at any of them. And
Please unlock your phone.
oh yeah,
I'm like, guys.
I'm so scared. Should I press
Unlock
it?
go
it.
ahead, open the photos.
No, man.
What?
No. Look. Let me show the camera. Let me get closer.
Oh my gosh.
No way.
I still don't know how
picture
it's done, by the way.
Of Paris
And I believe
developed
you, because
on.
this is unbelievable.
And the thing is, he actually does reveals of his tricks.
Yeah.
That's wild. Wow. Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. That was Wian.
That was-
Thanks for coming to stand.
I'm so scared of this witchcraft. Okay. Wow. I want more tricks, but before we have to talk, it's a podcast. Oh man. The man behind the magic. Where did it all start? Were you always obsessed when you were a kid?
Strange enough, right? The first time I saw a magician was at a festival, right? So originally I'm from a small town called Frankfurt in the Free State.
Ooh, say that again.
Frankfurt, like in Germany almost.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, so I saw my first magician at a festival, but he was spinning like a card around, and it amazed me, but I didn't think of doing magic. It was just cool, right? Then I watched the Ellen DeGeneres show, and I saw some weird stuff on there, and I was so amazed, and it kind of like stuck with me, but I didn't think you could learn it anywhere, right? So eventually I started YouTubing some tricks. One day I went to school with a pack of cards. We were playing games because it was like just a photo day.
Yeah.
None of the teachers were working or anything like that. So we were just, we were just playing some card games. And then I thought if I go home, I'm going to search some card tricks. And I found a lot. And eventually I discovered magic websites, and I saw that some of the best guys in the world that I actually saw on that show were selling some of their tricks. I didn't buy it, but I was trying to figure it out because the card tricks teach you a lot.
Yeah.
And that's how I started. So I just did magic. And eventually I took it further to bigger things and all that,
Wow.
Okay, so let's go back to the little town that you are from, and sort of where you got the gore, the audacity to say, listen, I am going to do this, and not only do it, I'm going to be the best at it. Because I know you may say, humble, right?
Wian,
you may
know.
say that, okay, no, I'm still up and coming and all of that, but you are huge across the entire globe. Where sort of, what were the influences from your upbringing that instilled that thing in you? I don't know what it is, but you've got it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think I try to be the best I can. I obviously want to be up there with the best in the world.
Yeah.
Right now, I think I'm the third most followed magician on TikTok.
Take a moment. Let's take a
Let's
moment.
give him his flowers.
Give him his daps. Yeah.
So I mean, for me, that is it's kind of like I've always known that when I started, once you do it, it's like, okay, it's good. I'm making money. I'm doing it. I'm happy. But I think the drive that you're talking about that kept me going to say, I want to be one of the best is if, we always see people in America do all these amazing things.
Exactly.
And it kind of feels like, we are not part of that. And no matter what you do, you're just never as good as them, right? Like people just, they kind of look down on you if you're South African because you're not in America, right?
Yeah.
So when I started getting that many followers and I saw, wow, this is actually happening, I had that drive to kind of prove that, right? Because I'm very proud to be a South African, right? I used to put a lot in my bio and stuff before I had to advertise my store and stuff. But so yeah, I think that's where the drive came from. It just felt good to know, because people used to come up to me and they'd be like, "Wow, you're good. I saw you on TikTok," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." And they're like, "You're good for a South African." And it's like, really, and I mean that just drove me like to. Sometimes I always say it's not about followers. It doesn't make you a better person than someone, but there is something about saying, well, who's your favorite TikToker from America? And usually they'd show me, and sometimes I'd have more followers than that person, right? And I kind of like that. So people always ask me, they're like, are you scared that someone's going to someday pass you on TikTok? And I'm like, you know what? I actually wish that happens.
Yeah.
Because it would also mean that a lot of people would take me more seriously, and they'd know that South Africa also has some of the biggest TikTokers. I remember years ago when I did SA's Got Talent, I saw guys on there. There was a group called Gravity Core. There was some artist, a guy by the name of Will Rays. Those guys were amazing. And it's like, our stage is so much smaller than overseas, but these are guys who are so talented.
Yeah.
It's just something that I strive to kind of put out there as much as possible. So yeah, there was a drive, of course. I think if I was in a different country, I wouldn't have that drive. It's kind of like we always want to put ourselves on the map because we're so far away from the rest of the world. No one's really watching us, so we have to do a lot to be
That
seen.
is so true.
I love that. You said you were the third most followed magician on TikTok.
Yeah.
What do you feel is your biggest achievement to date?
To date, I would say the 16 million on TikTok.
I love
I
that.
think that's the biggest thing. There's a lot of things that I'm very, very proud of.
Yeah.
But I think that was the thing that kind of put me a
I
little.
mean, feel
on
free
the
to
map.
name them. I'd love to hear what you're proud of. I'd love to hear what you're proud of.
Yeah,
man.
well, I'm proud of the recent million on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think that's great. If it wasn't for the new YouTube Shorts and stuff, I don't think I would have gotten there. So I'm very fortunate for that. Another thing, we did a TV show. It was an Afrikaans show. I didn't originally want to do it because I thought, well, the Afrikaans audience is so small. But I had so much fun doing it because we did so much. Like we would do the funniest things. We went to pro wrestlers and I would show them a trick and then they would do wrestling moves on me and all that kind of stuff. So it was just a great experience. A lot of the things I think I'm very proud about is stuff that wasn't always the fanciest stuff, but there was just a lot of fun to do because that's what I'm going to remember. And
For sure.
Yeah.
Oof, man.
Guys, he's so cool.
You're so cool. I think that's the thing, though, is when you go on social media and you see the person on the other side and they're constantly they're working, they're performing. You don't really get to meet them on the personal side.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people don't know this, Wian. They know the quick 30 second, I'm going to do a magic trick, get in, get out. Did you ever find it extremely difficult, or did it always come naturally to you, the magic tricks? Because half of it is performing too.
Yeah. So luckily for me, the first thing I wanted to be was the next David Blaine, right? The next Dynamo. So there wasn't really hope for, social media didn't exist back then. Yeah, there was Facebook and all, but it wasn't what it is now.
Yes.
No one was posting videos of them doing stuff. So my goal was to just do magic. I just enjoyed doing it. And eventually I started doing events. I would go to corporate events and stuff.
Nice.
And back then I thought, wow, maybe I can do this forever, right? So I do love the performing of it, but I think the social media took over. So, but luckily with that, I've learned so many tricks. I've learned so many in-person performances. If I was born 5 years earlier, I would have probably just done the social media thing. And then if I was here today, I wouldn't be able to show you guys a trick because I wouldn't have had that. So I was very fortunate actually to do the events first.
Got you.
And then social media hit, which is now almost all I do. But yeah, I think that helped, right? And also remember, I'm from a small town. I had a lot of time, so there's not much to do.
He had a lot
How
of
many
time.
how many cinemas are we talking in like one or two
How many?
cinemas?
in your town?
0.
Oh, I think that's how you
Okay,
always
that's
know.
small.
It's the cinema.
We recently got a KFC. And that's it.
I'm proud of you guys. Extremely
What I
proud
want
of
to
you
know,
guys.
right, is obviously the story that you have is a story that resonates with so
Yeah.
many South Africans, especially across like the entire country. And when I say the entire country, I don't mean the metropolitan areas, right? Which is sometimes things that we overlook, especially considering how big your audience is.
Yeah.
What do you think it is about South Africa that makes the people that come out of it so unique, and just what makes us as a nation so unique from the rest of the world?
I think it comes back to what I said earlier about we're trying to put ourselves on the map, right? Like it's a big deal for all of us. And I think that drives us to not only be as good as the rest of the world, but to actually be better. You can go to so many areas in South Africa, not necessarily even the big cities, right? And you'll find guys doing stuff that is amazing. Whether it's dancing, whether it's singing, you just look at it and you're like, wow, right? If only you had a stage. And I think that's the thing for me. I see a lot of talent. And I've seen this like all the years. When you look at the people we've produced all around the world, you look at what Trevor Noah's doing, look at what Elon Musk is doing right now. I know a lot of people will claim, well, he's technically American, but he was born here, right?
No, that is my favorite African American.
African I love that. Yeah.
So I mean, just looking at that, it's like when we do something, we do it as one of the best.
Sure.
And I think I see that all the time. I think it's very unfortunate that only a few are seen.
Yeah.
But I think that's what makes me proud to be a South African. I really do think we have this potential to be the best in whatever we take on.
Yeah. Wian, let's go a bit controversial here. Okay,
Go ahead.
magic controversial.
Okay.
So a big part of I think New Age magicians is tricks revealed, right? I think it's a very much a 50-50 thing. I think half people love it, the other half is like, no, the sanctity of magic tricks, right? Where do you fall on that? Because I know you do the reveals.
Yeah.
Where do you fall on that? Was it always something you wanted to do, or did you notice that the audience loves that part of it too?
Yes.
Yeah.
The reason I started was if you just post magic, people are going to think it's camera tricks.
Sure.
Right? If you're seeing something completely impossible, your only solution is, well, I'm looking at it on a video, so it can't be real.
Got you.
Right? And what's great about teaching a trick is you're showing someone a trick and immediately you're revealing it. Now people are like, oh, wow, he's actually doing it. So now they know everything they're seeing you do is actually happening.
Sure.
Right? It's not real magic, but it's not a camera trick. It's not fake. It's not like just edited. And I think that's how it originally started. But I also think you kind of want to give the impression, the whole thing about magic, the reason we do it, and I think magicians sometimes forget it, it's just my opinion. But the reason we do it is to engage with people, to have fun with people, right? And if someone wants to learn a trick, that's going to have a lasting impact on them. That's more important to them than you showing them how cool you are doing your tricks, right? And I think that's what we need to remember.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of magicians, they do believe, well, we can't reveal tricks because people need to wonder how it's done. And I agree with that, but it needs to, you need to also be a human being.
Yeah.
So you'll see my type of performance is I don't take it too serious. It's more like just a fun thing to do with your friends and stuff. It's like, let me just show you something cool. Let's have a good time. Instead of like being this serious magician. It also helps when you get caught out. Because that happens with magic tricks, even with us, right? Even the top pros, I've seen them as well. Like, you mess up a trick or someone sees something. If someone's seen a trick on YouTube, they're going to know how you do it no matter how good you are, right? So you need to not take it too seriously. It's a fun thing. So to expose something every now and then, it's not the end of the world. I think we need to move on. We need to inspire new people to also do tricks, right? Because we've seen a lot of people now into magic. They've brought really cool new ideas. That's necessary. You can't just force people to like stay quiet. We're only going to be 3 people doing these tricks
Yeah.
forever. So
Yeah.
if no one exposed magic, I wouldn't have been doing it now. So
And I think that's why you also have such a huge audience and people that genuinely enjoy your content and not only see it while they're scrolling on the For You page, but go back for more.
Yeah.
It's because you're not only showing us really cool stuff, which we see a lot of that. It's amazing, right? But you've got to, there's an element of education to what you do, which essentially is empowering a bunch of other people, because the same way that you were inspired by seeing something on television, you are inspiring a bunch of other young people to do that same. Perhaps it could be a hobby that they develop, or they could be the next Wian Magic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
I hear you.
And that's okay. Is it? I don't know if you have any more tricks, but I feel like
I would love another
I would
one.
love to milk this opportunity.
I've been trying to
Let's
keep
do
it
it.
cool. Thanks for asking.
Let me ask. Do you have any more tricks? that
Yes,
you could do?
absolutely. Let's do
Okay,
some.
Please,
please,
Kenny.
just
Cool.
Please.
just
I
because.
actually, I'm gonna leave you guys with a gift.
Okay.
Right? So I'm gonna leave. Don't get ambitious. it's not worth much, but I think it's something cool.
So we're
All
getting
right.
a car each.
Okay.
Damn. Okay.
So in here I've got not lunch, right? It's not lunch.
Okay.
It's well, they consider it to be the world's most popular toy.
Okay.
You guys think you'll know what that is?
Those
Rubik's
tornado
Cube. Oh,
thingies. Or
Rubik's
You got
Rubik's
it.
Cube.
A lot of people say fidget spinner. I think it might have won now because more people are answering that now. Maybe I should start doing this trick with a fidget spinner.
Yeah, Rubik's Cube.
But no, in here I've got a Rubik's Cube, right?
Okay.
So yeah, these things are very hard to solve. But also I have another one. This one's mixed, it's older, right? I'm going to show you if it's mixed on all sides like this, right? And I just give it a little shake, you'll see that it slowly starts to solve. Watch, do you see that? Look,
Stop it!
there you go.
Stop! No! No!
No way.
But-
No.
But I'll take it a step further for you guys.
More?
Yes, I said
Okay.
I'm going to leave you with something, right?
You did.
You remember the cube I put in here, right? Mm-hmm. So I've also got another thing with it,
Yeah.
right? So we have the cube, and then if I can just place it nicely next to it, because that's really important. Can you
Sure.
hear what else is inside?
No, I can't.
It's a,
I just hear the
it's a
paper.
glass bottle.
Oh,
right?
okay.
Okay.
So if we put that next to the cube, Lerai, I'm going to ask you to just hold like
Me?
this. Yes, if you don't mind. You're just going to hold the top.
Okay.
You guys know Dynamo?
Magician.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
Have you seen him put a phone in a bottle?
Yes.
The problem with that is, right, it's really good, really cool trick. But the problem with that is, once the phone's inside, you now have to either, if you want to keep that memory, you have to lose your phone.
Yes.
Right? So you need to break the bottle, you ruin the whole thing. Luckily, this is just a Rubik's Cube, right? So let's see if we can do this. Here we go,
Okay.
Lerai. Hold it a little higher if you don't mind. There we go. All right,
I'm
one,
scared.
2.
No!
I know that
get
doesn't
out
show
of
much, but
here.
let me show you. Look.
Did he put the other Rubik's Cube inside the...
Inside the glass, bro! He put it inside the glass!
And it fits. There's no way. What? Okay,
I don't
for
know how you
everybody
did
that is listening to this podcast, you have to go and watch our reactions on the YouTube because YouTube.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, this jar is literally the size of the Rubik's Cube.
Exactly.
With a little bit more room. There's no ways he would have put it inside. And the cube was empty before he. I don't know how to explain it.
That scared me. That actually freaked me out a
Do
little
you know
bit.
what? I actually had confidence that I was going to I was going to
Catch him
crack
out.
his
Yeah, we were
code.
gonna
I was going to catch him out.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, man, he's got something covering the Rubik's
Oh,
cube. And
my
You know how you
goodness.
do with card tricks,
Yeah.
but like, how do you do that?
I don't understand. But the thing, do you know what worries me about magic? Like, after you do so many tricks, what happens in a couple of years? Like, do you just keep making them better and better, adding new ones?
Yeah, so look, strange enough, right? From around 2010, which is when I started, I learned so much. just I really like. You can keep that, by the way, in case you think it's like a trick
We're
thing.
gonna keep
You
it
can-
on a set, right?
Oh,
Can it be
awesome,
part of our
awesome.
set? Awesome.
Awesome. So yeah, the thing is, in 2010, I learned so many new tricks because I learned everything that was obviously released in the last few years because I had just started then.
Sure.
But then it felt like for 8 years or so that I was just doing the same tricks. Like I was like, wow, am I going to do these tricks forever?
Yeah.
But luckily, that was even like the producers from America's Got Talent, they reached out to me. And I kind of felt like at that stage, there was no new tricks. Like they've seen everything on America's Got Talent that's good, right? That's really good. So I thought I can't go on, right? I obviously tried. I attempted my best, but it was all stuff they've seen. So luckily, in the last couple of years, there's been such a boom in like new tricks.
Yeah,
they've brought out such amazing things. That one being one. So yeah, it's
Can I please stop you quickly?
Go ahead, go for it.
The issue with those tricks is that we see them on social media, and I definitely know that it is editing. I'm literally flabbergasted right now because it was right in front of my face.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite magic trick to reveal? Is there one where you like this? I like it when people know how I did this.
Yeah, because there's tricks where the method, like how it works, is actually better than the trick.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you look at it and you're like, wow, this. I can't just do this trick. I need to tell someone how it's done. Yeah, there are some which you can find on my TikTok.
Okay, that's fine.
But yeah, there
My
are
favorite
some.
was
Yeah.
the popcorn one.
Which one was that? I missed that one.
So that was a video I did, which was actually a promotion, but it turned out going viral. I didn't even expect it to go viral, but it did, luckily. So I was sitting next to a guy in a cinema, and I took his empty popcorn, and I would like take a napkin over it, and then it's full popcorn. Now the trick looks okay, right? But it's better if you expose it. So what I did was I showed the people watching the video, like, look, it's a fake cardboard cutout with just popcorn stuck on top of it, hidden under the napkin. And then when you take that, you just put it on top. And so that's one of those examples.
Yeah, but he reveals the easy one.
The easy ones, yeah.
I'm not going to lie, that is true. Yeah.
But I like that because I think with what Lirai said earlier, it makes it much easier to also inspire other young South Africans who want to be magicians like you, because they notice that, I mean, it's one thing to have all the wonder, but when you know there's a skill to it also, because it is a skill, it's a massive skill. And the fact that you can basically tell them that by showing them, oh no, the popcorn's like this, then they go, okay, if I just put my brain to it and I practice it, because I know it's a lot of practice, you can actually inspire people. So if you've done so much in the last couple of years already, what does the next 5 years look like for Wian?
Yeah, I actually want to add on that. Like, that's very true what you just said. Like, I see a lot of mentions, right? Like, I would see a kid, right, somewhere like in South Africa, and they would do the trick that I just revealed. And that's a really good feeling, right? It's because you remember how the first guys you saw inspired you, and to think you might be doing that to someone else, that's an awesome feeling, right? And also, just to come back to the point, I think the big thing is, because people, a lot of the times they look at me as a magician, which is fine, but I think sometimes people need to also see it as, if he can do it, whether you're a dancer or a singer or whatever, you can do it too, right? Like, this guy's in South Africa, it's happening. There's so many guys that can do that as well. There's a lot of people who can do much cooler things than I can do. So yeah. But no, for the next 5 years, I think, I've said this a lot of times. Like, people, they always ask me that question, and I say, I'm really, really happy, right? I'm very, very happy with where I am, but I always want to obviously strive to do more.
Sure.
So I think what I'm doing now, I just want to do more of.
I get you.
So, instead of having 1 million YouTube subscribers, aim for 10 million, right? Instead of doing a bunch of promotions a month, do more, right? And as I said, I'd really love to see the world. I'd really love to, really just take the magic thing further, take the whole social media thing further. I always said, like, I think if I can start showing tricks to bigger and bigger celebrities, that's going to be probably the thing that's going to make me feel like, okay, now it's starting to happen. Because that's the thing that I see, like, on TikTok. You reach a stage where it's very good, where I think I am now. But then there's a stage where it's like these guys are hanging out with Jason Derulo and all of that. And that's also another thing, right? Like, it's just a quick thing I want to mention on. I had this discussion once. We were on a TikTok call, right? Like, we were doing a masterclass. We were a bunch of TikTokers talking. And the one guy, I remember he said because we were talking to a bunch of kids who now want to get into TikTok, like South African kids and all. And we said, like, we were giving them advice of what we learned, because we also don't always know what we're doing, right? We don't know how to make a viral video. We try our best. And I remember the advice they gave was, they said, because a lot of them were saying, because they're in South Africa, it's harder. And I think, don't be negative about it. But I remember they told them, well, be happy you're in South Africa, because if you were in America, it would have been a lot harder. And I disagreed with that, because I thought, as I said earlier, we are so far away in the world. I have seen people go from South Africa to the US and, like, instantly it's like 2 million followers, 3 million followers, just because, you know, they can relate to them, they can do all that. And I thought that's very interesting. Just just to mention that, like, I think we have to realize, like, we can get on that map. And and sorry, the point I was getting to, I saw a magician when I had like 10 million. There was a guy who had 2 million, and he stayed in Los Angeles. And the next day, I see a TikTok video, and Jason Derulo invited him to his house to make a TikTok with him doing magic tricks. And I'm just like, no, I'm happy for the guy, but I'm like, why not me, right? But I mean, that's kind of something that I would strive to. I mean, if Jason Derulo could ask me, you know, come do a magic trick in my house, that's what I want to do now. I want to build like more memories of what I'm doing. I'm very happy with where my following is, but I think, you know, the next 5 years, I want to make, especially this year, I want to make the best videos I've ever made. And I want to just take it further and see what I can do. Who knows, maybe make it onto a talent show or so as well.
I mean, Jason Derulo listens to the State of the Strong. So, Jason, I know you're always leaving comments and stuff, but Wian would like to come over to your crib. Obviously, you paying for the flights and stuff. Like, that's standard procedure. So, next time,
probably
please.
Ellen as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not. Have you gotten your plaque yet? Your YouTube plaque?
Yes.
Oh, how was it?
I'm waiting. I got the silver one, which was awesome. Yeah. It was very unreal, actually. It's funny how sometimes you look more forward to that than the actual subscribers.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm getting the gold one now, which should be on its way. So
OMG. But listen, guys, he is quite literally a pioneer of his own passion, and you are a pioneer of basically the industry that you are in.
Yeah.
In closing, I would love to hear what your message of strength is to South Africa.
Awesome. No, thanks. That's a very big weight on my shoulders, man.
You can handle it.
Yeah, I think, you know, I always say, like, I'm not a perfect person, right? I know people talk about the followers and that. I think I've done well on social media. That's something that I love to do and that I've had a lot of success in. I think if you're a South African and you have a dream and you want to do something, especially in social media or even just in entertainment, the number one thing is to, I know this sounds corny, you hear it all the time, but don't quit, right? For some reason, I don't know what it was. Maybe just I love magic so much. Maybe because my parents were just supportive people. I don't know what the reason was. But I never felt like quitting. I felt like, hey, if I'm staying in my parents' house, I don't have a job, whatever, that never bothered me. Because I knew that, you know, this is what I want to do. And this is what I love to do. And you know you're good at it, right? You know when people tell you you're good at this, you should do this as a career. That's a good feeling. It makes you want to do the thing you love more than anything else. And I always say, like, once you start out with social media and you don't like posting a video every day, that's normal too, right? Like you're never going to enjoy everything of what you do. Sometimes you're going to have to be there 7 o'clock, even if it's something you love. You have to be there at a time you don't maybe want to wake up, and and that's fine. And I think that's a big thing. But I think if I could just give advice to them, it is possible, right? Just because you're in South Africa and just because you see everything is in America, your favorite TikTokers, your favorite YouTubers, it doesn't mean no one here can do it too, right? We can absolutely do it. It's just keep at it. Don't. Another thing, I was talking to my girlfriend about this before the show. I said to her, like, a big thing that I did wrong at the start was we're so in our minds, like, you know, you need to go study something, right? So even when you're going into entertainment or social media, people want to go study that. That doesn't make sense to me, right? It's because I was like, okay, let me get on a Got Talent show, right? That's not how you're gonna make it, right? If you're going into entertainment or social media, it starts from home, right? It starts from making videos, and I think just be consistent with it. Don't feel like every video needs to go viral. Don't feel like your first video has to go viral. It takes time. Just try to be the best you can at what you do. It'll pay off if you put the time in. I'm not perfect at working hard. I've had days, I've had months where I'm just, you know, I'm not feeling it, right? That happens, and that's fine. I think just work on that discipline. I also think that discipline is, I don't remember who the guy was. I've seen him on TikTok a lot of times. I don't know if you know his name. He's this guy in South Africa who inspires people. He talks to them a lot. And he said, you know, discipline is more important than motivation. Because I was always looking for motivation. And he said, you know, if you think about it, if a team runs onto the field in a soccer game, and it's a World Cup final. Not everyone is motivated, right? One guy might have lost his mom that week. He doesn't want to play now, but he needs to be disciplined and he needs to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's what I've learned. I think Gary Vee is a good guy to check out on Instagram. I think that guy changed my life, you know, because he made me realize, like, instead of, if I could say one thing, that's the one thing. I would say, don't overplan it and don't try to be perfect.
Sure.
I was planning a video for 2 years that one day I saw a Gary Vee video. He's like, you know, don't be focused on perfection, just get it done.
Get it done.
And I said to my brother, let's get into a bus. Let's drive to Durban. There's beaches there. Because we wanted to have girls in the videos because that was getting the views by then on Facebook, right? And we said, what if we do that in South Africa? I had no money. At that time, I had no money, right? And we drove to the beach. I made those videos. I posted the video. I'm like, let's see what happens. I wasn't getting any views or anything. And that video ended up getting 15 million views. And I was like, Lad Bible, 9gag, all those pages were sharing it. And I'm like, wow.
And you probably still had another couple of months you were going to wait until you actually did it.
And I mean, that one video, and I made it, right? Guys, there was a trick I wanted to do. I threw a card in a window, through a window, and I wanted to make it like, you know, a lot of people in this beautiful background. But because I only had that day in the city, because I was still in the small town, I just went to a KFC and I asked the staff there, could you guys come out and I'll show you a trick? And I looked at the video. I'm like, this is actually really good. I'm like, but I would have loved to do it at that setting. And you know what? People ended up loving that. And I've put so much work into videos, and then they wouldn't go viral. And then I do a trick to my mom at home, which took like a minute, and that one would blow up. So sometimes you just got to do something instead of like over planning it. And I think that's the big thing. Like, if you have a dream, just go for it, you know.
That is Wian magic, guys. Listen, to be honest with you, all I heard was Wian has a girlfriend, which means magicians can get girlfriends.
It can happen.
So don't be
but
scared.
It takes time. It takes time.
It takes time and 12 million followers on TikTok to get a girlfriend as a magician. Wian, thank you so much for coming through.
Guys, thank you so much for having me.
We really appreciate you. Lirai, it was wonderful spending time with you again.
Thank you.
As usual.
I'm still mesmerized.
I'm trying to keep a calm, but we have to go home. We have to go home. Oh my goodness. Absolutely unbelievable. That was the episode with Wian Magic, man. I had so much fun. If you're listening to this episode, please come to YouTube and watch it. It is going to change your life. We made magic here on The State of the Strong, a podcast brought to you by Bull Brand. We'll see you guys on the next episode.